Money Matters, powered by Nedbank Insurance. Insurance you can bank on every day.
Welcome back to Money Matters, proudly brought to you by Nedbank Insurance. We're here with Walter Marto, who is the Managing Executive of Nedbank Insurance, to help us make sense of all things insurance. Walter, insurance policy documents can often be really complex and overwhelming. You know, they're usually full of fine print and might as well be in Greek. Why is that?
Raf, I don't speak Greek, and I'm not a lawyer, so I struggle a bit with it. But I think a lot of it comes down to history. You know, a policy document is essentially a contract between a client and the insurer. And as soon as you mention contract terms, lawyers get involved and charge us a lot of fees. But you definitely don't need to be a lawyer or have a law degree to understand your policy documents. The insurance industry can do much more to make sense of these documents so they're simpler and clearer. But at Nedbank Insurance, we constantly review our documents to use plain language so that our clients can easily understand what they're signing up for.
Now, some of the policies I've seen are also really long. Are there specific sections where we should pay extra attention to instead of going through the entire document?
Yes, the policy schedule is critical, but I would recommend you go through the whole thing. The policy schedule is basically a summary of the key points of your insurance policy. Important information that you provide is included there about yourself and the items that you want to insure. It also has the limits that apply to those items that insure and how much you need to pay for the cover and when. And that's usually monthly in most of insurance contracts. It also details the exclusions. It also details the waiting periods that might apply if they're applicable. And along with your schedule, your insurer will give you the full policy terms and conditions, or referred to as T's and C's, which really explain the claims process and other important information.
Now, most of that sounds straightforward, except maybe exclusions. And you've spoken about exclusions quite a bit. But what exactly are they?
Exclusions are really specific situations or conditions your policy doesn't cover. I think let's use an example. It's probably the easiest way to explain it. You know, your life cover policy might exclude certain preconditions related to health or death if it's a criminal activity and something happened to you in that criminal activity. Some policies actually exclude participation in risky activities. You know, you might, I don't know if you like skydiving or skiing in the Swiss Alps. So it's really wise to check your insurance cover to see if something goes wrong. You know, at Nedbank Insurance, we clearly actually explain these exclusions in the policy documents. They're really easy to understand. And it's really important for clients to read these sections carefully, or if they're unsure, to ask for help. The exclusion section is definitely one you have to pay close attention to.
And are my responsibilities as a client only to pay the premium then?
No, unfortunately, we put some other responsibilities on you, which go beyond paying premiums, and it really depends on the specific terms of your policy. You know, if you're a homeowner, and I often refer to this internally and with external people I speak with, you have the responsibility to maintain your home, just like you have the responsibility to maintain your vehicle. You look after your own tires and your own windscreen wipers. You send your car in for a service, and that's your obligation as from an insurance perspective as well. Also, it's your responsibility to keep your personal details and your beneficiaries up to date. So, you know, if you're buying new furniture or you move house and live in a different house, you should let your insurer know about that. Also, your contact details are really important because your insurer needs to get hold of you. And then there's definitely more to keep track of than just paying your premiums.
That's an important takeaway, you know, what you need to be covered for, what you're not covered for, and what's expected of you. Also, just to check if there's any waiting periods or limits on certain benefits so you don't get caught off guard. I mean, at the very least, go through the policy schedule very carefully.
Absolutely. I mean, the two things, the policy schedule and the full policy wording actually tell you everything. And as I said before, I think it's critical that you go through that, not only once, at least once a year. And if it's unclear, really just pick up the phone and ask your insurer. You know, insurers would much rather answer the question early than deal the frustration later because it wasn't clear. And as I said, at Nedbank Insurance, we very much want our clients to pay premium and claim for valid claims. And remember, there's no silly question when it comes to insurance. It's really important that you understand your policy schedule and your T's and C's.
Yeah, thanks, Walter. That's really helpful. I feel a lot more comfortable, going through policy documents now that I understand. Until now, they've just been downright intimidating, and it just drops into your mailbox and you leave it there, never to be seen again, right?
Yeah, thanks, Rolf. I think if policy documents feel that way and they feel intimidating, I think one needs to challenge one insurer that they need to be a little bit more simple. And that's definitely been a massive priority for us at Nedbank Insurance. We want to make the client feel that it's simple and really easy to do insurance, because insurance is really important. It protects you at that time of need.
Money Matters, powered by Nedbank Insurance. Insurance you can bank on every day.